Hello everyone. So thank you so much for watching this video again. We're continuing our talk, our discussion about happiness and life and how to have a good lifestyle that it will bring you fulfillment and happiness and allow you to cope and become resistant to stress and anxiety and of course depression and other mental problems. So we talked about many things already. We talked about happiness and distress, and we spoke about material happiness, that it's always you have to refresh, you have to get the new taste to get happy, to be happy. So it's like drugs. You get used to drugs. People who start taking drugs, they feel super happy, but after some time their happiness vanishes, so they have to increase the dose. So everything in the material world is like this. And we spoke about the soul. So before that we spoke about the senses and the mind. So the mind controls the senses, and the mind is looking for some happiness, looking for solutions, where to find the most happiness, right? We're making decisions. So actually decisions are made by intelligence, right? As I explained before. So intelligence is there. And all of this is controlled by a false ego, our idea that we are this body and we can enjoy the material objects. So this is the false identification. That's the cause problem of all other problems. So we spoke about the soul last time. It's very interesting topic to discuss, very controversial for some people, as well as karma and reincarnation. So recently I got a comment from one person. Finally someone decided to engage with me, right? So he said, "Hey mate, you need some help." Of course in a mean way. And he was right. Everyone needs help, including me. So I get this help from my teacher, who is my mentor, who is helping me to go through my life problems and teaches me wisdom, how to be wise in different situations. He gives me knowledge about what is good, what is bad, and it all comes from Vedas, from Vedic knowledge. So I just want to share with you because I found it very helpful in my life, so that's why I'm sharing with you. So it's actually very important for everyone to have a teacher, because teachers, they don't only give us material knowledge, right? Economics, business, mathematics, English. This is wonderful what they teach at school, but you also need to have a teacher in life. It's very important. People ask why, you can live your life however you like. But we do that. We live our life how we like, but there is so many problems. Why do people have so many mental problems? It's because we live our life how we like. We think everything came from chaos, so there is no other rules except the physics rules, like the law of gravity, or force equals mass times acceleration, and so on. So we think only material elements are subjected to the rules. But there's also subtle elements, as I explained before, which is called karma, right? So this is subtle laws of nature. They controlling us in a certain way. They are directing us because they act according to our desires and according to our actions. We spoke about this. So that's why we need a teacher. What to do, how to reduce the effect of karma, right? Because if you understand the concept of karma, you can see that it's based on our desires. and our actions. But sometimes we don't want to suffer, correct? So that's why we need to go beyond the laws of karma. We don't want to be subjected, because actually soul cannot be subjected to the laws of karma. Only when the soul is within the body, then the laws of karma can affect you, because they affect this physical body. Because the laws of karma only affect physical elements. They don't affect spiritual energy. So everyone needs a teacher. Right now it's becoming very popular. Everyone has a yoga instructor, or someone is helping people through guided meditation, or people have life trainers, life mentors, and so many different new occupations, you can call them, but so many different ways that people are trying to help other people. So everyone needs a teacher, even in life, because as long as we live this meaningless life without the higher purpose, we cannot actually be happy. So the life should have meaning, and should be deep meaning. There's a very nice book by Stephen Covey. It's called 7 Qualities of Highly Effective People, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very nice book, because there he talks about having an end goal. So if you want to have your life, if you want to live a meaningful life, you need to have an end goal. The goal that you can achieve by the end of your life, right? So if you want to have a good car or nice house, many people achieve it in this life, right? In a few years. There is a mortgage available right now, so you can buy a good house. So it's not such a big goal, but he suggests that we should have a goal that cannot be achieved in this life. Then we can be satisfied. Very interesting thought, right? You think, why, if I can achieve the goal in this life, why should I strive towards it? So we think when we achieve the result, that brings us happiness. We don't really think about the process. We go to work every day, we are ready to suffer, we are ready to listen to our boss who is criticizing our work. We are ready to deal with the colleagues who don't understand us and who bring us a lot of trouble. We are ready to do all of this. We are ready to tolerate it, just so we can make money and buy what we want, or invest money somewhere in our family or friends. So we need the money to be happy in the modern society. But this is not true. We already found out, you probably already found out for yourself, money don't make you happy. So it is very difficult right now to find the right way, right? Find the way where you can be happy. That's why there is so many varieties of different practices: yoga, meditation, mindful meditation. People go to psychologists just to get some help in terms of stress and anxiety. They think the psychologist can relieve their stress and anxiety. So modern psychologist is a kind of teacher that people go to. But after studying psychology at university, I can tell you that there is only certain practices that psychologists use to help people, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, stress management techniques, and others. So, and they don't really go that deep as Vedic knowledge. They can give you relief, but they cannot get you the real happiness. So it's important to have a teacher. The teacher who knows how to be happy. since not many people in our world right now know how to be happy. It's very fun to find. It's very difficult to find the right teacher. So people go to psychologists, right? If you feel anxious, stressful, you go to psychologist, you pay him money, and he listens to all your problems. And actually, they tell us at uni, so 95% of the time you just listen, because people just want to share, they want to open up their mind, but they can't do it in the real world. They can't share their mind with their partner or relatives or friends because they don't feel confident enough to do that. They don't really trust these people to such an extent that they can open their mind to full extent. So they can go to a third person who only has extrinsic motivation to listen to you. So the psychologist receives money and he listens to your problems. You open up your mind, he listens to you with full attention, and you get some sort of satisfaction, you get some relief from your stress, right? It's not like a partner who is sitting on the couch and watching TV, watching rugby, New South Wales versus Queensland, it's finals, and you come back and you're tired and you want to speak to your partner, but it's he or she, they don't want to listen. Why? You know, you're the closest person. Why is this game on TV or some, show on TV like everyone's watching The Bachelor or some other show? Why is it more important? Or Game of Thrones? Why is it more important than your closest person? Right? So just turn it off and listen to your partner. But people don't do that. It's very hard to share in the modern world what you actually feel. Therefore, they go to psychologists. In Vedic literature, in Vedic knowledge, and in the Vedic culture, there's no such a profession as modern psychologist, right? Who gets the money and listens to you. No, there are teachers who genuinely interested to help people, and they are ready to listen to other people's problems for free. That's called a teacher, not psychologist. And in another reason why in the Vedic culture there is no psychologist is because everyone is real. The culture or the education that the Vedic system provides allows children to grow up educated on how to build a good relationship with your friends, peers, parents, children, and partners. There's a full education system which is not available in the modern world. Who teaches you how to behave with your parents, how to approach friends, how to share with your friends, and how to respect your friends? It's very rare at school, but in the Vedic culture, it's a base, it's a basis, it's a foundation of education. So, in the Vedic tradition, people share their thoughts. Why? Because it's an exchange of love. Actually, one of the exchanges of love is that you open up your mind to others, and others are listening to you. When someone comes to you and opens up their mind, you should listen. That's a tradition, right? You turn off the TV, although there were no TVs in Vedic time, but you stop doing what you're doing and you listen because someone came up to you to reveal their mind. It's very important. It's an exchange of love. We're all trying to be happy, but we also want to be loved and want to love others. So that's a real exchange of love. So that's why I'm starting this project, I'm Real, because Vedic knowledge has a wisdom about how to build a good relationship, how to be real, and how to actually exchange love with other people, how to open up your mind, how to not have stress, anxiety, accumulated stress over years, which results in depression and suicide, So it is very important to know. That's why we need teachers. Second thing is we need association. We need association of like-minded people. If you want to be successful in business, you have to put yourself into association with successful people, you know, like-minded people who are striving towards business achievements, who have specific business goals and who know how to achieve them. So you put yourself into that association, you speak to a successful businessman, women, and you can learn from them, right? That's very important. Association gives you support, gives you knowledge, gives you enthusiasm, encourages you, inspires you to achieve your goals. So if you're associating with people who just like to, I don't know, smoke weed and, you know, do different things, or if you are smoking weed, it's okay. Everyone is different, right? But everyone is experiencing some sort of happiness. Everyone is experiencing some sort of distress. We're not trying to judge here. But if you're associating with people who don't help you to elevate your consciousness on another level, to help you to understand who you are, and if they don't allow you to be who you are in their association, put yourself into different group, put yourself in, find different association, you know, with the like-minded people who are trying to elevate their consciousness. Doesn't mean you have to break your friendship with all friends. No, you remain friends, but look for something else. Since you're looking already, you're here with me, listening and engaging with me. Since you're already looking for something else, for a sustainable happiness, so then find like-minded people. It is very important that you find good association, people that you feel light with, you can share your thoughts with, you know. You can be real, you can be yourself with these people. You have to a little bit force yourself. Every change requires action, every change is difficult, and everyone is resistant to change. But if you want to elevate your consciousness, I told you before, you cannot solve the material problems, the problems of material happiness on the same platform as material objects and material senses. You have to elevate yourself to the level of the soul. So therefore you have to elevate your consciousness, you have to go one step above. And it could be very difficult. Therefore, we need to put some effort. Effort is required everywhere. We need to put in some effort. If you want to make money, you need to work. Unless you have a good karma, you just buy a ticket and you win a lottery with $1 billion or whatever the awards are right now. So this is very important. Your association and looking for a teacher who can instruct you, who can help you, who can advise you on your path, who can understand you and help you to overcome life's problems, life's difficult situations. So, as I promised, I wanted to share with you what is this spiritual energy, right? How to connect with this spiritual energy, because our soul is spiritual energy, right? It's not something very vague, like it's very specific, it's factual. There's many examples that I shared with you in the previous video you can watch. But it's very important right now that you watch the previous videos and you understand the level that we are talking on right now, because it's a sequential movement. We are trying to go deeper in our understanding of who we are and how to be happy. So before I move on, I promise you we will speak about the spiritual energy. It is very specific. There's so many practices and ways right now available, and people think that they are all equal. Well, Vedic knowledge says this is not true. Every practice has its own purpose, and every practice has its own goal. Right? So now we will not discuss spiritual energy, we will discuss that tomorrow, but I just want to speak about this person that I began with in the beginning, who said you should get help, right? In a very mean way, but it's okay, because he engaged with me, he shared some reaction, and it's totally fine. I do not consider him my enemy, because enemies and friends can always change. Sometimes your friend can become an enemy, and sometimes your enemy can become a friend. It's a very interesting dynamic, because 10 years or maybe 7 years back, I had a person in my life who was my greatest enemy. At school we used to fight, we used to hate each other so much. I used to think that he's bullying me, he probably used to think that I'm bullying him, and we just never liked each other. Moreover, we used to live together in the boarding house, so at school we could kind of separate ourselves with our other friends, but in the boarding house we lived next to each other. And we were the greatest enemies in the whole boarding house. We used to always do something behind each other's back, and it was really bad experience. I hated it all. I hated the situation that I'm in, and although I'm a sort of agreeable, peaceful person, I thought I was. This person drove me nuts. Sometimes you have at work a colleague who drives you nuts. But at work we put on the mask of, just smile. We don't care, we just smile. So that's not really being real, to be honest. But then you ask, how can I deal with this person? He does everything against me. I'm not doing anything to hurt him, but he's doing everything just to ruin my life. At least I was thinking like that. So we were the greatest enemies. I'll skip what happened in between. I'll tell you what happened in the end. We became the best friends. Right now we are the best friends. So out of all schoolmates that I have right now, he is my best friend, which is very interesting. How can I go from hating someone so much to best friends? So that's where what happened actually was I got this knowledge. I got the knowledge of karma. I started to study this question: why is he bringing me so much suffering? I told you before, one of the sufferings that we have is from other people. So I was asking myself, why does he bring me so much distress, anxiety, to such an extent that I'm depressed every day? So then I started to study this knowledge, the Vedic knowledge. My father recommended it to me. I studied it a little bit, I heard about karma, I understood how it works, and then I thought, oh wow, I did something bad in the past, which must return to me in the future, which is I'm experiencing right now. This bad reaction is just coming back to me. I could have done something bad in the past, like 10 years ago. I could have done something bad in my previous life. It doesn't matter what I have done, but I've done something bad in the past. And indeed, I used to bully people back in my hometown 12 years ago. So this karma was coming back to me, someone was bullying me. And I thought, okay, so the karma, the reaction is as such that I should be bullied. Because I bullied someone, I should be bullied, right? So it's just a reaction. You know, the third Newton's law. So I applied force towards someone, now the force is coming back to me. But the main idea is karma doesn't really specify who it will be, right? Because the law is very complicated, because every person has karma and it needs to put right people next to each other so their karma matches. So it doesn't really matter that he was bullying me. The point was that I was getting bullied, right? Someone was returning me my bad karma. Whether it was him or it could be someone else, it doesn't matter. The problem is not that person. The problem is that you did something bad in the past and now this karma is returning back to you. And who is executing this bad karma, it doesn't matter. It's like in old times, when there was a capital punishment and they used to hang people, you know, or they used to cut their head off. So if, for example, you were punished and you were given a capital punishment, there was a person who would come and put the rope around your neck and hang you. So can you blame that person for doing this? No, he's just doing his job. Because according to the law of the government, you committed some crime for which there is a capital punishment, you should die. So this person is just doing his job. So therefore, that my greatest enemy, he was doing his job. He was just there to do his job, because that was his karma. He had to, also according to his desires, he wanted to maybe enjoy that act of bullying or something. It doesn't really matter. But for me, he just brought up to me what I deserved. And that's the main point. First point, you have to accept that someone is hurting you, not because you're bad, not because he is bad, but because of your previous actions that you've committed, maybe not in this life, but could be in the previous life. That's the first thing. It's the hardest thing to do, but you have to accept that it is happening to me because I deserve it. It's the most difficult thing to do. Most difficult thing to do. How can I deserve it? You know, this person comes up to me and pushes me and punches me. No, but, you know, I did this to people and I didn't get punished. So now it's time for punishment. You did something also maybe in this life, maybe in the previous life. So it's acceptance and forgiveness. I forgive this person because it's not his fault that he's doing this to me. It's like a magnet. We are attracting each other. No one else is bullying me but that person. And he's not bullying, you know, like everyone else. At least he was not at that point of time. So I understood this. Okay, he's just doing his job and I accepted. And my mind changed, because before it was action and reaction. That's the point of karma. You don't have free will, you don't think. The person comes and disturbs your mind. He pushes you, whether physically or mentally. He says, you don't do your job right? At work, for example. Or your mother comes back home and says, you know, why didn't you clean your room? So whether someone they are acting towards you. According to your karma, you should react to this, right? So I was reacting. I was like, straight away, I had negative reaction. I was like, why is he bullying me? I have to protect myself. I have to defend myself and I have to fight with him. I was thinking like this. So that's a straight away reaction. I didn't even think. That's just, didn't try to accept, try to understand what's happening. I just reacted. And that's the problem. That's how we live our life. We act and react. And nothing in between. We don't even think. Our system is, there's two systems in our brain, cognitive and automatic. And we rarely use cognitive system. We use it for solving problems, but in terms of our relationship, we often use automatic reaction. We just react. We come back home tired from work, and your husband comes up to you and says, "Why didn't you prepare dinner? Why didn't you cook?" Or your wife comes up to you and says, "Why you didn't prepare dinner? Why you didn't cook? Why you didn't clean the house?" And you're tired. You just want to relax, and you just react. You start screaming, and she starts screaming, and you both scream at each other, and there is a conflict. Because we live like this. There is no free will. We just do action, reaction, and they just like a magnet. So Stephen Covey, in his book, as I mentioned earlier, he explains that the free will lies between these two, between action and reaction. Stop yourself when someone is acting towards you in a negative way. Stop yourself. Try to understand the point. He's acting towards you in this way because you deserve it. Just accept it. Just accept it. Because of your previous karma, you deserve it. Once you accept it, you feel much easier. Just breathe in, accept it, and relax. You feel much easier. Okay, this is how he should do it to me. I'm attracting this action because of my karma. Then you have a free will. You have time to think what you can do. Right? And then you can respond, not react. Responding is our way of living. We have to respond to people. Respond means you understand the other person, you understand yourself, you understand that there is a karma between you two. And you can manage this relationship already a little bit. It becomes easier. I just gave you one example of my life. Now we're best friends. I can't say enough thanks to this person. I can't really to full extent appreciate what he did, but he changed, that moment changed my life completely, and now he's my best friend, So I fully appreciate what he did to me. We are best friends right now, And since then, he didn't bully anyone, which was really interesting. So once you change yourself, you help to change others. And he's the only person probably from my old schoolmates that I can fully reveal my heart to him. Can you imagine that? To your greatest enemy, you can reveal your heart to, your mind. What's your problems? What is bothering you? So we spoke about a lot of things today, but I mainly wanted to stress this idea that karma is there and karma can be dealt with. I will record another sequence of seminars just based talking about karma and how to deal with difficult situations in life, how to deal with stress, anxiety, and depression. So please stay tuned. There'll be a full sequence of videos. We will go deeper and we will try to solve different situations. You will have to work on yourself a little bit. It'll be a bit difficult in the beginning. It will require some effort, but that's okay. It'll be hard to accept the concept of karma, but if you want to be for real, if you want others to be for real with you, someone has to start. And if you have knowledge, you can start first, and then you can build a good relationship. So put yourself in a good association with like-minded people. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to connect with the people through social media who also are interested in achieving this permanent, sustainable, ever-increasing happiness. Also, try to look for a teacher who can help you, right? Having a lot of friends is very important, but also is having a person, a leader, a motivator, a coach who can teach you how to, a special lifestyle, a different lifestyle. Because the modern society, unfortunately, doesn't provide any right education. How to be happy, how to be successful, how to build a good, sustainable relationship with others, how to love. We will speak about all these topics as well, But I will bring our attention back to the main idea, back to the spiritual energy in our next video. So get ready, it will be interesting to talk, because everyone is practicing some sort of mindful meditation, breathing exercises, yoga, I don't know what else people practice, but so many different stress management techniques people use, going to psychologists. So we will discuss all of this, but we'll bring it back to the main idea. So how is it all same, or is there difference between these different techniques? And what is spiritual energy? Is it something vague, something that you cannot really understand, something in the sky, or is it something specific? And not only that, I will try to share with you the wisdom, the Vedic wisdom about the spiritual energy, but also I will share with you the process how you can connect the soul with the spiritual energy. So therefore you can, for yourself, try and experience the spiritual happiness. And then you can share with me your feelings. We will do it together. We'll practice a little bit. So something to look forward to. And thank you so much for your attention. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.